Hi, this is Charlene Chamberlain, and you're watching and listening front to front row on WTER Talk Exchange Radio. My guest today is Jerry Chambers, and he is the director of the Scottish Rite Auditorium in the Collingswood Grand Ballroom in Collingswood, New Jersey. Hi, Jerry. Thanks for coming on the show today. It's great to see you again.
My pleasure.
It's been a while. I haven't seen you.
It's been a great time.
I haven't seen you for a couple of months.
I know. It's all my loss.
Oh,
as far as that goes.
thanks.
I miss seeing you. I want to get you back.
Well, thanks.
So when that air conditioner, we'd have you there.
I will definitely be back. There's so many wonderful things that are happening in Collingswood, and if you haven't been to the Scottish Rite Auditorium or the ballroom, you're really missing out because it really has a great feel and a vibe to it. So tell us a little bit about the auditorium and the mansion that's attached to it.
Well, first built, was the mansion. The mansion was built in 1850s. It was
by the Masons, right?
Well, no, the mansion was built, as a private enterprise. So therefore, it was a private residence up until the year of 1930. A lot of known people in the Collingswood area lived there. Mr. Collings, as in Collingswood.
Oh,
and
really?
Collings
I didn't
Knight.
know that. Okay.
And Mr. Knight, as in the big park we have, Knight's Park, lived there. A couple famous people that became, I'll say, international. Mr. French, as in Samuel French, Smith, Klein, and French, which became GlaxoSmith.
Right.
He lived there in the house. And then, like I said, another little fun story, Mr. Knight, who developed the Pullman train car, you know what I'm saying, was the owner of the home. And it was quite an interesting story there. Mr. Knight sold that patent in, I believe, 1868 for $2 million. Wow,
that's a lot of money back there in 1868.
So the mansion was private up until 1930, and then it was purchased by the Masons. The Masons then in 1930 erected the building behind it, which is now known as the Collingswood Grand Ballroom and the Scottish Rite Auditorium. It was built and finished in 1931.
Why did they decide to add on an auditorium of that size? Because it is pretty big.
It is the actual South Jersey headquarters of the Scottish Rite. There's different types of Masons,
Yes.
What we have there are the Scottish Rite Order. People say, well, the other types. Well, in local towns, there's the York Rite, and then we have as well known as the Shriners, which we have in like Philadelphia in the hospital. And the women's division would be called the Eastern Star.
Yes.
This is the Scottish Rite, where it's their local headquarters of South Jersey. There's another one in central New Jersey near Trenton, and another one up in North Jersey. This became the South Jersey headquarters for the Scottish Rite Order. And they built this place to do their social as well as their degrees.
I heard that they were tired of going across the river to Philadelphia for entertainment, and that's why they built the auditorium. That's the story that I heard, but I don't know how true that is.
The Masons didn't do that. We, the borough of Collingswood, got tired of crossing the bridge.
Right.
And that's when we hooked up with BRE to bring acts to this side of the river.
Right. Let's have a look at some pictures. Keith.
Okay.
Let's have a look at the Scottish Rite Auditorium. Here it is.
There we go. That's a 1,000-seat theater. You see the seats are all original. There actually is not a bad seat in the house. That you're looking at the stage there.
Right.
And it is a beautiful theater. It's actually more of an auditorium design, which means it's an arena. So it's actually not sloped, it's more tiered.
Yes, it is. It is tiered. And the ceiling, the detail work in the ceiling is absolutely magnificent.
It's beautiful.
It still has stained glass windows.
The ceiling lights up too, which is kind of unique as far as that goes. It never was designed to do what we're doing, but it works incredible.
I have to say, we at BRE have produced some really, really wonderful shows there. Recently we had 2 sellout nights of the Tedeschi Trucks Band, 2 nights of Steve Hackett that I think sold out. We had the Mavericks there for 2 nights. Right. The Temptations in the past, Buddy Guy, Chris Isaac, even Laurie Berkner, who is one of the top children's artists.
She was great.
Yeah, and we do have Dave Mason coming in November and a whole slew of other artists, which we can't really talk about just yet. But
keep an eye on the websites.
Keep an eye on the websites, because we will be releasing all the concerts that are coming there this fall, probably mid to the end of July. But it really is a great place to see a show. It's comfortable. There's plenty of parking, and the parking is free, right, Jerry?
Exactly free. Get there early enough, right?
Right.
No, it's all free anyway. They
Yeah.
park in the neighborhood, and the neighbors are very friendly, if necessary.
Right.
It's very easy to find. It's strategically located between the two bridges, the Ben Franklin and the Walt Whitman.
And it's
so
close to Route 130.
It's right there. Hop, skip, and a jump. I mean, you could be there in a matter of 15 minutes from Center City, Philadelphia.
Right. The other thing I would like to mention is that during concert season, we also offer these really nifty VIP packages for our patrons where they can actually come into a special sort of a clubby room that we have set up in the mansion that Jerry set up
Just
for us.
special for the VIPs, right?
Special for the VIPs. And attached to that room is another additional room where all the artifacts are stored from the Masons, which is pretty interesting. So if you're into that type of thing and history, you can wander around and look at all these artifacts and images or photographs, their paintings, there are all kinds of cool things there. So we have this really wonderful VIP room where we offer sometimes wine tasting from
Auburn Road, which has been great. New Jersey winery here, and also to have local beer distributor, actually Flying Fish. And Gene, the owner, has been there, and he enjoyed, you know, telling everybody about his brews. And they enjoyed drinking them.
I know. I've been through a couple of those.
Yeah, they're very good.
They are. They're really nice. And then we also involve a lot of the local restaurants in the area too, and they will also come in and bring some food, such as we've had
Tortilla Press has brought his famous guacamole, you know what I'm saying, and salsa in, which has been great, and Di Bartolo Bakery, we've done a couple other pepperoni breads and spinach breads. We work real close with the restaurants. There's approximately 30 great restaurants in Collingswood, and we also have a nice little deal with tickets. You purchase your tickets, show them at the restaurant, and you get a little courtesy discount, free dessert, something of the sorts. So they tie together quite well. It's a really
nice, great, fun, kind of inexpensive evening out. You can go downtown, walk the beautiful streets of Collingswood, have a great dinner, or just go for cocktails and appetizers, and then come to the Scottish Rite and enjoy a wonderful concert.
The cocktails wouldn't be in Collingswood, though.
Well,
you have to bring your own bottle.
Yeah,
right?
BYOB. Well, you can have cocktails at the Scottish Rite, though.
Exactly. Yeah, you can have beer and wine at the Scottish Rite as well.
Right, so your concession offers beer and wine.
Beer and wine, correct.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
But there are a couple other local, you know, bars if you wish to have a cocktail, not too far away.
Right.
So like I said, if people do need that, we do have them close by, in great proximity.
So let's talk about the Collingswood Grand Ballroom, which is also part of the facility, and that is actually downstairs.
That is the first floor. We have the ballroom, which is the first floor. It has a beautiful wraparound mezzanine. And if you take a look at the photograph,
I'm not sure if we're...
Is it
oh yeah, there it is.
The ballroom,
wow.
Okay, yes. The grand staircase, which the bride just love
that is magnificent.
Yeah. I mean, it is a hit. It's quite a way to be introduced as far as the bride and the groom and the wedding party. And as far as our capacity goes, our capacity is actually 800.
For the ballroom?
Yeah, for both levels. Wow. Our typical wedding is in the vicinity of 250. We recommend 150 and up. It's well received. You know, so we put a great package together. The package is about $100, which is almost unheard of for what you get. So it's something that's like really become quite popular. To get dates in October are almost impossible. We're booked into probably 2016.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. I was on the website and I know that you also can offer a martini bar.
Yes, we do. We have all kinds of
an espresso bar.
Espresso bar, martini bars. We have the candy bars now. They have all kinds of neat extras.
Photo booth.
Photo booth. Yes, I have our event coordinator. Her name is Heather. And Heather does a fantastic job of putting these all together. She is great. You know what I'm saying? She's right in tune with all what the brides are looking for today. In fact, we were just talking about how traditions are changing now. We're talking about they're eliminating the cake as far as that goes, the cutting ceremony. They're doing just little cupcakes.
No more smashing anymore?
Just little cupcakes now they're doing. And then also two other traditions as far as the garter, they're getting rid of that. So it's a changing industry, you know, as far as that goes. But Heather is on the front line with it, and she does a fantastic job.
The other thing that I thought was really kind of interesting and quite pretty is that you can offer a monogram dance floor.
Yes. We have a monogram which is basically, you know, put onto the middle of the dance floor that shows the initials, you know what I'm saying, of the bride and the groom, all interlocked, which is really nice. And they just dance around it. It's posted in the middle floor. It's a real cool. And it's also a really cool souvenir to have.
Sure it is.
You get to keep it afterwards, obviously. It's all yours. It's a nice little steel plate.
Oh, no kidding.
Makes
That's
like
really
a little
neat.
ornament to put in your home someplace, right?
Yeah, that really personalizes everything. Have there been any interesting or crazy requests from brides and grooms for their weddings?
We had a couple little, I'll say one that I recall, which was quite interesting. I guess it was probably into the ceremony, not the ceremony, but the reception, and all of a sudden we had a little nudge from the best man, and he said, we have a surprise for the bride and groom. I'm like, really? What's that? He says, I got 35 mummers outside. And they need a place to change and come in and do their thing. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Are you serious?
Wow.
So we had to find a space for them to
hide
quick
them,
get changed,
right? Because it was
right?
a surprise.
Then they had to tune all up, and then
Yeah.
here comes the mummers coming bouncing in.
Wow.
So yeah, we've had some interesting, things happen that where either the groomsman or somebody decides to do a little fun treat.
Right.
But I mean, as far as any other really crazy, shocking things, nothing really that comes to mind. But that one did.
The other thing I think is amazing is that you can have a concert going on at the Scottish Rite Auditorium upstairs and a full-fledged wedding happening downstairs, and you can't hear either on either floor.
Neither one
they
knows
don't
the other
interrupt
one
each
is
other.
happening.
Yeah.
They really don't even see each other unless
No.
you would probably
On the staircase, maybe.
and possibly in contact down the parking lot, because somebody would be dressed in, like I said, casual attire, and then somebody would be dressed in a
their
suit.
tux,
Okay,
right.
so they would say, "Oh, where are you going?" "I'm at the
Right.
wedding here." And they say, "Where are you going?" "I'm at the concert. The Kansas is playing upstairs." You
Right.
know? And it's amazing because I even had a couple of my friends who were at a wedding. They talked about, I hear there's a place that had music going on in this place. I said, yeah, it's upstairs.
Go
They said,
upstairs.
you're kidding me. We go up the elevator and they
Yeah.
would take a peek and Kansas was playing. So it's amazing that neither one knows that the other one's going on.
Yeah, and I mean, both, of course,
Separate
upstairs
entrances,
it's very
separate
loud.
bathrooms, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about the Collingswood Foundation for the Arts. Now, I know that some of the things that we do there with the freeholders help support that. What exactly is the Collingswood Foundation for the Arts?
Well, it's an organization and group that was put together back in the mid-90s, okay? Basically what we did with our mission statement was to be like a catalyst, okay? To bring the arts to this region, the region of South Jersey, basically expanding ourselves beyond even the county, that we could bring things instead of, like we said earlier, going across the river to find the arts,
Right.
have it here. We have a very active, proactive community theater group. They have done different plays. Recently, just did Spamalot.
And is that the Collingswood Community Theater?
Collingswood
Run
Community
by
Theater,
you?
run by Mary Baldwin.
Right.
Okay.
She's been there for a long time.
She has been
Yeah.
there. Actually, I've been 12 years full time, so she's been every bit of that, maybe a little bit more.
And she, you don't have to be an actor to actually audition or be in any of those shows. You just have to be a member of the community.
Community, we have two different
Right.
groups. I mean, there's the Collingswood Community Theater group, and then there's another one called the Excelsior.
Oh, I didn't know about
The
that.
Excelsior, yes, you could
Yeah.
be just somebody who would like to get involved.
Right.
You don't have to be from the town.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting. In fact, in Spamalot, there was quite a few from out of town.
Sure.
And we welcome them.
That's a fun
And
show.
some people were, like I say, they lived in Collingswood, possibly an apartment, bought a house in another area, and want to still be
come back,
involved,
yeah.
with the community theater group. So they will. And it's great. And they have had some productions where the cast is in excess of 100 people in the
100
cast.
people in the
In the
cast?
cast, yeah. Like
Wow.
Music Man's a
Oh,
really
sure.
big cast, as far as that goes, when it comes to mind.
Right.
And it's been great production, and they do fantastic as far
Mm-hmm.
as that goes. They come close to like probably 3/4 of a house, which is great.
So
And
that
they
would
do
be
2
around
weeks of show, about 700,
700
give or take
people.
Yeah,
Wow.
which is a great actual, like I say, appreciation of the local talent.
Mm-hmm.
Which is,
Also, is the Scottish Rite Auditorium available for rental for
Yes, it
other
is.
events?
Yes, we do.
So
We do private.
How would that work?
Primarily, basically, people find us, through the internet. As
Mm-hmm.
far as that goes, we have rental information on our website, which
Right.
is collingswood.com,
Okay.
and then they follow that through, and then usually find me, and then I follow up with them and get involved with what type of production they're doing. We also, we use it and rent it out to a lot of dance troupes.
Yeah, I've
Ovations,
seen
know,
some ballet
right.
productions there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've had the Philadelphia Ballet there recently, as far as to
Right.
do a production of Snow White.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
so we do
Okay.
that. Sloan Dance Academy
Tricia
has
Sloan.
Tricia
Mhm.
Sloan has been there. She
Yeah.
does the Nutcracker every year.
Yes.
So we do rent it out to other private individuals,
Right.
as far as to do other than the concerts and other than the community theater. We've also done a lot of I've had different karate studios do their award ceremonies there, which is
Okay.
interesting. And I have some churches that use it,
Right.
for their particular ceremonies as well.
Right. So it really is a whole
It's diverse.
community building there.
It is diverse,
Yeah. And there's always something pretty much happening at any time. Do you
Yes,
have
except
any
for the summer,
quiet
we're
times?
not we're not air conditioned. So during the summer months, we kind of
Well, wait.
quiet.
Let's just say that's just the auditorium. That's
Strictly the
not air conditioned.
auditorium.
The ballroom,
is in full swing.
definitely,
Yeah, we're air
happening.
conditioned there, and that's actually prime time for the weddings.
Right. So, what do you enjoy most about your job there, Jerry?
Never a dull moment. Okay, I never do things usually twice. It's you never know what's going to happen next.
Right.
It's It's something where I could spend 7 days a week and probably 24 hours a day.
And you probably
do. Pretty close to it. There's some old Noga-hide couches I think I slept on them a couple times.
Upstairs. In that VIP room, right?
VIP
Is that why
room.
you set up the VIP room?
Exactly, so I could sleep there. No, it's interesting. I mean, it's never a dull moment, as far as that goes. I enjoy it. I've embraced it over the course of, like I say, 12 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
Our first concert, I think, was actually about 15 years ago, until we took a full-time lease.
Who was it?
That was it was titled Cry, Cry, Cry. It was Richard Schindel, Lucy Kaplansky, and Dar Williams.
Oh my gosh!
Back in, I believe it was 1998.
Wow.
Yep. That was
Going
our first
strong
one.
ever since. Do we have I think we might have another shot up there, another photo available of the band, one of the bands.
I think we have maybe Dickie Betts.
I think it might be a
possibly.
Dickie Betts photo.
Dickie Betts from the Allman Brothers back in the day.
Wow, how long ago was that?
Well, actually, this concert wasn't that long ago.
No.
That was just last year. Okay,
okay.
But Dickie Betts, obviously, since the Allman Brothers.
Oh my gosh,
and,
yes.
But then we had, the young prodigy, which is Derek Trucks.
That's right.
Okay, from the Allman Brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Was just here recently.
Carrying on the tradition.
Yes, he was.
Absolutely.
Excellent. But it's great. In fact, a lot of the comments from the performers, I mean...
Yeah, from the performer standpoint, do they like to play the venue?
They love it. I mean, I've had people like, okay, I had the lucky evening to spend with David Crosby one time, way back in 2003. And David said to me in his raspy voice, he said, "Jerry, this is the coolest place I've ever played." I said, "David, can I have that in writing?"
Yeah,
and David said, "Do you want it?" I said, "Yes, I do want it." And he walked me through his legal, and we do have that for a nice little quote now.
Wow.
People like Michael McDonald, you know what I'm saying, when he was there. Actually, I have him write on usually one of our posters that we have.
Yes.
And it was his pleasure to play in such a sweet venue.
Wow.
And there are the comments. I mean, we have people like Roger Hodgins, from Supertramp, who was there just recently. Roger played for almost an extra hour
because
he just felt good. He said it just gave him such a spiritual feeling that he just wanted to keep giving it back. And he did.
Wow.
And it was amazing. I mean, typically our concerts are 90 minutes.
Well, even with Get the Lead Out, what did they play for,
longer.
2.5 hours?
Yep, which was phenomenal.
That was pretty amazing.
And
I think I attended a Chris Isaak show, a Christmas show, a couple
years
ago.
Yep.
That was a very long show, too.
Well, they're moved by the intimacy of the actual venue.
Right.
It's very intimate for the guests, okay, and it's intimate for the performers.
Right.
Because they feel like when they're on stage that they're being embraced by the audience.
Well, they can pretty much
and
see
they just about
everybody,
are.
too.
Exactly.
Yeah, when they turn the house lights up
it
and
looks
look
like
around.
they're being hugged.
They're in their living room.
Exactly.
I know.
And very comfortable seats.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's all staggered, so you're not looking at the back of somebody's head.
Right.
It's not sloped, like we said.
And how about the audio? How's the sound in there?
Audio's incredible. Steve Hackett made a comment that it's probably the best he's ever heard as far as that goes. The room is extremely tight. We have a new line array system recently put in, and it's been well received. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. The room is really tight. The furthest seat from the stage is less than 100 feet.
That's in the back?
All the way in the back,
top.
in row Y. Okay,
I
it's
had no idea. That's
less than
very
100 feet away.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get that close to one of your performers.
No.
Probably not any venue that I could think of.
No, and they do let you stand up and dance, and most of the times you can take photos. So that's
most of the times.
You know, unless the band management says no. But every time I've been there, people have been,
They don't like the flash because it's annoying, but the cameras are good.
Yeah, but everybody does that.
Yeah.
On the Maverick show, everybody was up in their seats dancing.
Yeah, well, they were just
crazy.
having a good old time.
Yeah.
It was just like a salsa night. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was dancing and having a good time, and it was fun. Really fun. You couldn't sit down at that concert.
Yeah. I also want to say that, the audio is great, and it's not overwhelming, meaning that it's not extremely loud. It's not going to blow your eardrums out. And, you have that so many other venues. You never know whether they're bringing earplugs or not, but I have never experienced that there. It's been pretty
No, it's good and
good.
comfortable as far as that goes. You don't need it, you know what I'm saying, to be extremely loud. Not in that room.
No.
The room's too tight. It actually, I could be on stage and talking to you in row Y or vice versa
we could hear
without anything, and we
without
would
a
hear
mic.
each other. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really tight.
Scottish Rite Auditorium, great place to see a show. Jerry, how can people find out about the Scottish Rite Auditorium, and how can they find out about booking weddings or other events in the ballroom or in the auditorium?
Okay, well, we have several websites. As far as for the ballroom, it's easy. Collingswoodballroom.com would be the easiest one to do. You can also go Collingswood Ballroom Theater. That'll work. Or Collingswood.com. Okay, we'll link you. And also for the shows would be BRE Presents.
Right.
Okay, we'll also help you navigate through newly released shows when they're coming about.
And get on the BRE Presents email list because you'll
join that VIP. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, join the VIP. We have a lot of fun there.
We've had it well received. People really enjoy it. Yes, we have.
Yeah.
And people really like it. It's something special.
I have to tell you, one of our VIPers actually came to my office and took me out to lunch.
How about that?
So there you go. She had a great time.
It's nice.
Yeah.
People do enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? They have that little special treatment.
Yeah.
And like I said, we have that neat little side room. It's got a lot of history.
Yeah.
And an area where typically,
nobody
the guests,
can go. It's
the public,
private.
they're not invited there.
That's
so
right.
grab it. It's well worth the admission.
It's very special. Jerry, thank you so much for being on Front
My
Row.
pleasure being
My
here.
pleasure.
I appreciate
It's great
it.
to
This
see
is
you
great.
again.
It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Charlene Chamberlain. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching Front Row on WTER.